sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. If all the things you never show, there are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart to slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Losing almost all my energy. It's getting hard to talk to you, and I'm the only one who speaks. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart to slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Here we go.
Okay, hey guys, I'm on too, like I was. All right, hey guys, welcome to the live. Sorry, I'm a little bit late there. I was just trying to get some stuff anyways. Happy Sunday, fun day, Father's Day for any fathers out there that are watching. Mostly it's females, but there are the men out there too. Have to remember them. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the live today. We'll get into it in just a minute. I'm kind of, I don't want to say I'm frazzled a little bit, because I'm not really frazzled as much as like I just got off work and I was trying to get the live ready, and then now it's just like it was a lot of things I was trying to grab. But anyways, nice to see you guys here. If you guys haven't hit that like and share for Jack and Lily, of course, please do so. Let's see here. AJ, American Justice, driving home. I'll be home in less than 24 hours before I return to work. Just want to stop in and say hello. Love you, girly. Thanks for stopping by and listening. Just asking Charmaine about you yesterday. From Mexico, I tried to replay of yesterday's live and it put me to sleep. That's what I'm here for. Thank you for keeping Jack and Lily Sullivan's case in the forefront. We appreciate you. Hi, Brenda. Damn, Grendel, I'm trying to wonder. Oh, yes, ma'am. And all your trips to Mexico. What are you bringing back? Something for Daniel? Anyways, nice to see you guys here. Kimberly's in the house. Grey Wolf's in the house. Pretty sure I saw Grey Wolf say, Sunny to the office, please. Isn't that from Clutch Some Pearls, Justin? Hi, Sunny and Charmaine. Number YouTube's Harley. 1 Detective. Love you. 3 thank you. Sunny for the membership. Hi, Edna. Hi, Cindy. How are you? Just going to kind of go a little bit faster. Hi, Lynn. How are you? And Mama Bear. Who's messaging me? Oh, okay. Gasp. I'm just going to say gasp. Hi, Madagascar. Woman Fish too. Good. Hope you guys are having a good day. It's 3:27 here. Susie Max in the house. Nurse is in the house. Annabella, It's a Crime and Shame's in the house. Samme from Miami. Wait. Did you change your name again? I feel like, did you change your name or was it that still? Sammy. I think it. Tired. Danielle. Hey, Danielle, how are you? Baby Monkey's in the house. Mustang Girl. Goldie. Nice to see you guys. Hi, Sing Birdie. Don't forget to hit that like and share. Streamlabs is in the house. You know, Streamlabs doesn't like it when you use your punctuation wrong. Sunny, go to the car. Late slip time. Yeah, well, you know, sometimes most of the time I'm on time, but usually I'll purposely let it go 5 minutes past. That way more people are coming in. Maple Leaf's in the house, but that's Nice to see you, but that's inhale, exhale. I did 10 of those. Happy Father's Day to all the dads and the moms who are both role model, mom and dad. Absolutely. Hi, Black Bear. How are you? Ariel's in the house. Sasser, wow, I hope you're having an awesome time. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, no, we hope it's horrible. Raining, miserable, tornadoes, all that stuff. Best Father's Day ever. Both my daughter called me for the first time after restoration last year, sorting through all the lies. Woohoo. Aw, that's sweet to hear. Glad for that. Yeah. Hi, Belinda believes. Um, Root strengths in the house. Just trying to. TJZ mom's in the house. I think that's it. Poured. Oh, you're welcome. Sometimes when I'm at work, they're like, usually I get called honey or penny. And about half the time I get called Sunny by people that call in. And I hate being called Penny, first of all. I freaking can't stand that name. So if you're a Penny out there, sorry, that name sucks ass. Penelope, Penny shit. Honey, I think of Winnie the Pooh. Today the lady's like, what's your name? Did you say Sunny? And I'm like, yep. And she goes, well, it's nice and sunny outside. And I'm just like, yep, I know. Live in the same province you do. Well, same area, I should say. Anyway, knock, knock, Penny. Ugh. I knew a girl named Penny, okay? And she was nice, but she was manly as shit, okay? She looked like a fucking, okay, we didn't use these terms back in the day so much, but she, manly, butchy, but yet she was really nice. So whenever someone says Penny, I instantly picture her in my mind. And that's from like 7th grade. Anyways, can't stand that name. Besides, I like Penelope, Pippi Longstocking, Penelope, that one. So happy about. Thank you. Okay, you guys, of course, Jack and Lily, main focus here today. Oh my God, 2 sets of inclement weather here in the States. Scary tornado watches and warnings. I'm on my toes. Your little tippy toes on there. Okay. So again, thank you guys for being here. We're going to go through, well, really kind of what I want to talk to you guys about mostly today is some screenshots, but it's about things that bug me about, say, Daniel versus Malehya. And we all know that this case, even when you try to look at the basics of this case, meaning straight down without the side crap in it, I still always can't seem to figure out, if any, hypothetically speaking, in my opinion, allegedly, Malehya, Daniel, and Janie per se. Oh, Olive Hall. Olive Hall wants a Rickroll. Gifted 5 memberships. Let's start off this live right here and have some music and generosity, obviously. So let me just, okay. Oh, what the heck? What did I just click on? What the heck did I just click on? 1 second. I clicked on some stupid thing. Speechify. Stupid Speechify. 4 more to go. All right, let's see here. So Ariel got a membership from Olive Hall, and Goldie Mom did, and Sweetie Pie 68, and 5 stars did. There's got to be another person. 1, 2, 3, 4. Every now and again. Oh, yeah, girl. 1 sec. Yeah, girls. got one as well. So thanks. Uh, Thank you so much, Olive Hall, for doing that. I love the pay it forward stuff. I always have. Um, and so make sure you thank, if you're in the chat right now, make sure to give a big thank you. And yeah, thank you so much for doing that. Well, we're going to get there. You would think that they would only make it do once. But the thing is that this is StreamYard, but it's Stream Labs. That's the one that plays the songs in a sense when somebody either does a super chat and stuff like that and the becomes a member. One more. Hi, Noni. There we go. Thought Ariel, well, I knew I seen you up there. Yeah. Hi, Noni. How are you? Okay. There's going to be one more. Boom, boom. It's okay. I needed that anyway. I needed a little wakey. I woke up at like 2 a.m. and then I was, this is what pisses you off, right? I'll tell you. Thank you, Root Strength. So glad to be here for 12 months. Thank you, guys. But I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but I was going through my messenger and I had to keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. No word of a lie. Okay. Messenger, kiss my ass. So I spent, and is there one more? Oh, I thought we were done. I desert you for dessert. I went to bed at 2 a.m. in the morning, LOL. Well, so I spent an hour scrolling through Messenger, right? Actually, over an hour. And then as I was scrolling, I must have hit, so I was all the way back to August, right? And then I hit something which clicked on somebody else's name in my messenger. And guess what? That fucking hour of scrolling, gone, kaput, because it takes you right back to the start. When I went back to go click on the name I was going through on there, and I was like, fuck you. I don't need the screenshot that bad on there. F you. But that sucked. No, I mean, I could have been sleeping. I had to be up at 4:40, I could have been sleeping, but no, I had something in my head when I got up to go to the bathroom, thinking about Jack and Lily, and I was thinking about something, a screenshot of something that I had. And anyways, yeah, good fight, Sonny. Oh, there's nothing worse than that. That's happened to me a few times. I remember, with Charmaine, I was scrolling, and me and Charmaine have like more multiple conversations. I literally got to the date that I needed to get to, right, Belinda? I literally got to the date I needed to get to. And I'm literally on the date. I just need to one more time hit down. And then Charmaine calls, right? And then, so I was like, okay, no problem. I'll just click answer and then, whatever. Guess what? Right back to the fucking start. I literally scrolled for freaking months and months. Like, we're talking 7 months. Anyways, all I got to say is F you, Messenger. Because you have to wait, right? When you're scrolling, you circle thing, then you're like, okay, come on, circle thing, come on, suck it. Anyways, that's all I gotta say. Sing birdie. I love when you catch your lives. I love when you catch your lives. My lives. Thank you for being a member for 5 months. Hey, everyone. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Hope you got spoiled today. And I said happy Father's Day to my husband. He's like, pfft, right? And I'm just like, well, our two cats, the girls, like, you're their daddy. Tomorrow's my husband's birthday. My husband turns 36 tomorrow. Woo. So let's see. So my dog had an emergency surgery yesterday, so I had to wear the cone head overnight. Jabbed me with it. Gotta love those little cone heads. There's Belinda. Love you too, Sunny. More than Chelsea? Just putting it out there. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Yeah, make sure we give them their proper, because when it's Mother's Day, we're like, it's Mother's Day. Hope somebody does something nice for me. Fathers, yeah, I know they're not quite the same. They didn't give birth to the children, but they donated their sperm. Close enough. I mean, I guess if it wasn't for that, children wouldn't be born, I suppose. Right, okay. Oh my God, Stevie's younger than me. Yeah, cradle robber. So I'm going to be turning 57 on July 3rd with my twin sister though, so she has to go along old with me on there. But yeah, this time of the year for me is a lot. Like I said, our wedding anniversary is July 11th. That will be 11 years. 11/11. Get it? 11/11. But okay, so the point of this live, like I was saying, is that I get really conflicted with things between Daniel and Malehya. So this is based on the notion that people on the property had, of course, something to do with Jack and Lily's disappearance. We'll just put it out there just like that. Okay. So what always conflicts me amongst this, well, is a couple things. One is the first thing I'll talk about is the blanket. So when the blanket was found, Malehya said, yes, that was Lily's. Daniel said, no, it wasn't. And then Daniel started all of a sudden talking about the other blanket that was found, okay? Now, in saying that, I don't know that there was such another blanket like Daniel's trying to talk about. I mean, there was a pink rag type of thing. Oh, which reminds me, I thought you were in your 40s. Yeah, so did I. I don't know what happened. The years just go by so fast, you know. The reason why me and my husband, well, there's lots of reasons, but I'm very youthful, where he always didn't like anyone more his age and stuff like that. Anyways, it wasn't a planned thing. We just connected gaming. He was in England, I was in Canada, and it was like I call it the pretty woman story, pretty much. Looking for nub in all the right places this time, I suppose. Number three's got to be the charm, people. Okay, number 3, 11 years, 17 years, now 11 years. Let's see if we can make it to 12. No, but anyway, so I think what I want to start off with is, wait. So the blanket. So Malehya, right? She gets asked about the blanket and she says that yes, it's Lily's. So she's not distancing herself from the fact that this piece of blanket is in a tree, and she says that the shirts aren't, but that the blanket's Lily's. Now Daniel, right? He lies about the blanket, protect Malehya so she doesn't get in trouble. But he lies and distances himself. So I'm trying to always think about the Thursday into the Friday. And my head gets scrambled whenever I try to think of, okay, is it plausible that hypothetically that Daniel did something and Malehya and Janie didn't know about it? Did Daniel and Malehya do something and Janie didn't know about it? Did Malehya do something and Janie and Daniel didn't know about it? And the reason for that is because we keep getting fed this different, timelines, things that they've said, but it's still kind of, so it just fucks with your brain. It's that simple. It just messes with your brain because it's no different, okay, than when we're talking about Malehya. And No, Belinda, that's so silly of you. You could be my mom, okay? Like I said, you could adopt me. Chelsea's my sister. I don't. Okay. I mean, pretty sure I agree with that comment about 40. Sounds about right to me. But yes, we could. We can be soul sisters if you want, I suppose. Chelsea can be both of our daughters. You'll be the nice one and I'll be the evil one. Yeah, fair? That sounds fair. How many times did Malehya leave the house after the kids were reported missing? How many times did Daniel or Janie leave the house after the kids were reported? Well, your guess is as good as mine on that. No, she doesn't. Sophia? No. Not that I know. No. I haven't seen that. I don't know about that. I've never heard of that name, let me put it that way. Okay. So we all know that Malehya has said, right, that Daniel was sleeping all night long, right? Basically, right till 9:40 till they got up. We know that that is probably the lie versus Malehya. So we already know that she's lying because one has to be true. So she told Cheryl, Christine, like I showed you guys, right? And remember Haley with the drugs, right? That, well, according to Cheryl Christine, it was up all night. That Daniel, Malehya said that Daniel was up all night because she said kind of like, well, I don't know about the 4 a.m. thing or whatever. Now, I know that Haley kind of couldn't remember exactly what time because I believe at first she said like 12 and then she said something like 4. Now, doesn't matter even about that to me, to be honest with you, for the most part, because the bottom line is that Malehya has told her sister and Christy Cheryl that Daniel was up doing drugs all night. That's a far cry from her statement that she gave to the police that Daniel was sleeping the whole night through. So we already know that we've caught her in a lie. And so again, some people could take that and go, well, she was probably lying for Daniel, because she didn't want it, whatever. But yet, by the same token, she tells Haley that, and that Daniel has been doing drugs. Well, even though we know he's been doing drugs before Meadow was born, let's get real, okay? But anyways, we'll just take that point. And so she says that Daniel's been doing drugs. She said it to me, right? Before that. So that means that in her statement that she lied about Daniel sleeping all night. But we're talking about 2 children missing. We're not talking about someone getting arrested because they're doing drugs and stuff like that. We're talking about 2 children missing. And on the time frame that 2 children are missing, they're lying. Now, another, you know what? I want to show you quickly because Shanann put it on her channel yesterday, which was great. I always love seeing, like she showed the images. Okay, so let me just make sure I pull up the right one here. She showed the images of the 2 shirts that were where the tree was. So I'll show you the first one. And I'm sure most of you have seen this, but it was really nice to see. So I appreciate that. So she obviously got that from probably Cheryl, Christine, the image, because we all know that there was a couple people there, right? We know Haley was there, Hayden was there, Emily was there, and then Cheryl and somebody else came up like within a few seconds or a few moments anyway. So the 2 items that say Brandon are claiming were in a tree. Okay, so these are the 2 items that were where the blanket was found. Now, we don't know when exactly that blanket was placed. It could have been at the nighttime. We keep hearing about the fact that it wasn't there and that bus cameras would have seen it, right? Or that the family members were driving up and down and would have seen it. I'm going to call bullshit to that because one, the buses didn't catch the blanket in the tree on their cameras. I specifically remember that. And I'm pretty sure it was on Ninchi when she had something about that. But by the same token, I also have, another piece where I was told the same thing. And so to me, these things were found, I believe, when they were found. Simple as that, in the afternoon. I don't really want to get into Brandon shit because I honestly, if any of his shit comes true, so be it. If not, so be it, right? I mean, we're all just waiting for answers for Jack and Lily. But again, what's really bugging me a lot when it comes to this is trying to think through what Daniel's doing and then what Malehya has been doing and has done. So what I find odd with Malehya is if she's the one that told Cheryl that that blanket was over the rail, Daniel is the one that said that someone punched a hole through it and that he didn't know nothing about it. He didn't even know where the blanket was. Again, distancing. But yet Malehya is telling a different story that way. And right about the blanket being on the railing. So in my head, I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Why is Malehya saying certain things that you think she wouldn't say if she was part of it? And right, to me, I'm just, like I said, we're just going over stuff that I got that's been bugging me because I can't make sense of it because certain things don't add up for Malehya, and Daniel, most things add up to me for Daniel. But when it comes to Malehya, it doesn't, because it's like, why is Malehya not really distancing herself? But yet, by the same token, we know she's lying about Daniel being asleep all night. And then Shanann, she makes this comment on her live when I think it was on the first one when she came back. Was that the one? Or was it with Darren? That was the first one. Okay. Then Shanann makes this comment and says, well, hypothetically, like, what if she was groggy? Like, what if Daniel manipulated her into saying that, right? In some sort of way or fashion. And the thing that always bugged me is that Malehya never said that she's seen those children. We only seen that in the documents, right? So again, we know she lied in the documents about Daniel being asleep, in my opinion. So seeing Lily and saying that she heard them was that a lie that Daniel did get her to say? I can see that. Daniel is absolutely a manipulator. Absolutely. So another thing that bugs me is this. For Daniel, when Darren was speaking for Daniel or Darren said, and I'll play it, okay, that another thing was that someone had went into the trailer and took out some items, and Daniel felt that they planted them against him, right? Took out a couple sweaters, a water bottle, and then he couldn't remember what else. Hi, Gypsy Flo. Thank you guys for being here. I'm not convinced Malehya did anything to her children. I think she's in denial about what Daniel was could be. Like, that's just it. Inhale, exhale. Is that very well could be, because we already know that there's lying going on, right? But we can only have so much information. But there's things that what I was confused by was, this whole time, have been, is things that she said to say Belinda in her messages. And then the things that she was saying in her interview that weren't really meshing up. And I'm trying to understand why, if somebody, say, let's say Malehya, if she participated, why would she not distance herself with certain things, right? Like the blanket. Why wouldn't she just simply have lied? I mean, it's not like she's a brainiac. It's not like she's going to be going, yeah, I guess my DNA is probably going to be on there. I just might as well admit it. Whereas Daniel's like, nope, not the blanket. But then Daniel makes excuses. So I'm going to play a couple parts, because one of the things that bugged me is that Daniel had said to Darren about a water bottle, right? And a couple sweaters and a water bottle. But lo and behold, in the search, they come across these shirts or whatever you want. These look more like, I'd call them more probably a sweater than, because you can tell like the bottom one looks like it's more knitted, like it has more of a knit thing, but so it comes across like that. Maybe they're not such t-shirts, but anyways, but the searchers come across a water bottle and we all know some underwear, socks, whatever, and 2 sweaters. But the water bottle is bugging me a lot, because the water bottle, Daniel is claiming that somebody went into the home to plant the water bottle, right? And whatever other things. So he tried to get ahead of the game, guys, right? Daniel tried to get ahead of the game to let the RCMP know that, hey, if you find these things, just so you know that they were just planted against me. And I'm like, but how would you know that the water bottle was, like, that there was a water bottle right where the blanket was, let alone a couple sweaters, shirts, or whatever? Like, how would you have known these things? So the water bottle bugs me, because he claimed that somebody went in the house to plant that. He never said anything, right? So it's just this weirdness, because we got the blanket there. So if you don't know anything about the blanket, Daniel, but yet you're talking about a water bottle that was, taken from your trailer and was going to be used to plant you, and yet they find a water bottle right there where the blanket is too. So stuff like that, it bugs me. I mean, I know why it bugs me, because Daniel has an issue with telling the truth. Malehya, on the other hand, she's always been more, okay, well, if she's part of it, where is she in part of it? Does she know? Did she not know? Etc. Etc. Anyways, so I'm going to take down this message and I'm going to play. So the first thing I'm going to play is The Searchers from Plundered True Crime. And that should be right. Is it this one? Okay. So this is going to talk, about the water bottle. Okay. Share screen. Okay. So water bottle, 1253. Okay. So make that bigger for a minute. Make sure the volume's good.
This is Command. Can I get an updated position, please? Over.
The dog didn't get a track, and Bravo 3 seized the blanket. Now, this does confirm talk of the blanket. According to the CBC, the children's stepfather, Daniel, said the Mounties showed him shirts, a blanket, and a water bottle found during the search near their Gairloch Road home somewhere. And he says none of those items belong to either child. So now we hear that actual audio where they talk about the blanket. And some people are really searching, clues in the photos. And I don't know if it was a pink blanket or not, but someone did see like what could have been a pink blanket behind Jack in the photos. And they're like, what if this was a blanket?
Okay. So, so again, so Daniel says that he was shown or basically a water bottle, 2 shirts, and about the blanket. How would he know? Because I mean, how many water bottles are getting tossed where 2 children go missing and a blanket is? And yet he's saying about a couple of shirts and he's talking about a water bottle. But how would you know that? Like, why would you say that somebody went into your home and then they took some items and that they just all went here? There's the blanket, a couple shirts. And to me, Daniel's always trying to distance himself. Daniel's always trying to tell us that the blanket was planted. The RCMP said the blanket was planted. Daniel was called in when the forensics came back about the blanket. But we know that he tries to minimize things. He tries to, always put himself in a light of a non-liar. He tells the truth, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so that's when I'll go back to the next piece where Darren's on our live talking about the pink blanket, the boots, water bottles, and whatever, a couple shirts or whatever, a couple sweaters. Okay, so 1 second. Well, stop screen. Sorry, guys, if I can't look at chat too much right now, just because I'm trying to do this stuff behind the scenes here. I don't have a co-pilot. Share. And then we'll go to this one, okay? So this is that live. Steve will do it. Yes, Steve. It's at like the 1 hour and like basically 10-minute mark, closer to the 1 hour 11-minute mark. So I'm gonna play this. Wait, did I make that smaller or bigger? There we go. Okay, so now listen again.
Part of the blanket sticking in the tree. It's like a sore thumb out there.
Right.
And then the blueprint. I want to say this. Do you know who found the blanket? The blanket piece in the tree?
We just heard that it was family that took him there.
That's right. Malehya's friends and family.
Malehya's.
Do you know who found the blueprint up on the pipeline?
Malehya's friends and family?
Malehya's friends and family. Do you know, they all the evidence except for one little thing. That the only thing the searchers found, and I'm pretty sure now some searcher might come on here and say, "Oh, I'm full of shit," that they did find something else, but I don't think so. And there was some stuff went missing out of the trailer. Daniel checked on too, and he reported this to the Mounties because what he was scared of that somebody took this stuff because he was sure somebody planted this evidence.
Right.
And there was some other stuff missing of his, and he was sure that that somebody was going to try to blame him to make it look like an abduction and that he did it down the line. So he reported this to the Mounties right off the start to protect, and it was a smart move on his behalf.
Yeah.
He had 2 sweaters, a water bottle, and something else were taken out of his.
What was it about those sweaters? Because obviously when people listen to it, that it was something like, well, if there's 2 sweat like that. I mean, obviously he was typing in Dolly yesterday and stuff like that, but he's mentioned something about these 2 sweaters, and it's like, well, if they're found with the kids, it almost came across like I didn't have anything to do with it. She took them with her. So what is it about those 2 sweaters?
Well, that's what he was worried about, that these people, like, they took the blanket, they took the part of the blanket out and set that up to make it look like an abduction down the road. They took the blueprint, they set the blueprint up on the pipeline to make it look like the kids were in the woods. So they were sort of splitting things up. And there was another couple little things that they found. Now the searchers were all through there and they never found this stuff. But all of a sudden, Malehya's half-sister found most of it. Matter of fact, I believe it was Malehya's sister found everything. I think she found the half sister. I think she found the blanket hanging in the tree. She found the blueprint up on the pipeline, and I mean one blueprint up by itself up on a pipeline. And I don't even think it was the right size for the kids, from what Daniel tells me. So
stop that there, because the whole point of that was like, so somebody went into your house, but you didn't even know nothing about the blanket whatsoever for a couple of days. Really, you didn't see a photo, even though it says that you've seen a photo. But in the thing they showed you, but all of a sudden this missing water bottle that he claims is out there. Oh, guess what? Scanner audio happens to be a water bottle and 2 sweaters out there. And he was so smart about it. Now you have to remember too that during this particular live, I'm just wanting to listen. But during this live as well, this is when more so me and Charmaine were trying to give Daniel the benefit of the doubt. But then Daniel, like what he said that, and the reason why Daniel lied, well, we got Daniel lying, we got Malehya lying. So now really we can't trust them as far as we can throw them, because if he's up doing drugs all night, but yet you got him sleeping, and yet you're going to an interview and you can see, remember about how it seems like it's like reading a script, and our interview was odd, right? So, but what I'm still wondering about is why Malehya is giving information in a sense, like meaning not denying the blanket. Why is she telling people about Daniel doing the drugs, including myself, about his controlling ways? But yet, when Shanann's talked about, well, what if Malehya was groggy and sleeping, right? I can absolutely see manipulation going on there. I can see Daniel manipulating Malehya. I don't think Malehya is hard to manipulate. I don't think, honestly, for the most part, I know Malehya's kind of like personality type. And yeah, I'm thrown off by certain things of information that she's giving, because if you were part and party of what happened to Jack and Lily, then why are you given information about the piece of blanket on the railing, right? And then Daniel is saying that it was in the bag, and Daniel has a whole story, about it. But yet the thing is that that's just it, right? This is why it's such fuckery in the head, because at the end of the day, all I myself am trying to understand is, okay, just for myself, okay, and to share with you guys as well, my own thoughts on this, because it's like trying to wrap your head around the truth and the lies, and that they're both lying. But why is Malehya not so much on certain things distancing herself like Daniel is? Daniel's distancing, but then Daniel makes that comment. Let me just see if I can image file. Bring that. We're gonna go through. I got screenshots. What is this one? Which one's this? Oh, right. Okay. Make myself smaller. On the day Jack and Lily went missing, she heard them playing in the room and was going in and out of sleep. Lily came in the room around 8:20. Sorry, I haven't bothered to go get the unredacted part of this. There's only a couple things. A couple of times. Daniel was sleeping the whole time and didn't really wake up. She didn't hear them around. Well, see, this is where they both are full of BS again, because both of them have claimed about 20 minutes, right? From the time that basically, 8:20 Lily comes in the room, they're claiming at this point that only 20 minutes has gone by, when really we already know that they've claimed 9:40 for their stamp of approval of when they woke up, right? And so Let's see. So the police came and got statements. So again, it's just lies on top of lies. But I can't understand still why Malehya is giving information. If her and Daniel are involved together, why is she giving the information? Now Daniel will tell you, well, it's all because so she could just set me up and all that stuff. I don't buy that for 1 second about the blanket and the water bottle and all that stuff being taken from the home and planted against him. Daniel lying about the blanket. He can sit there and say all he wants about this other secondary pink blanket. Cough. Bullshit. Bullshit. It's like trying to reverse on what you've said and then trying to make people believe, well, no, you guys, I got it all mixed up. I saw another blanket. I had no clue where this pink blanket, you mean the one that was in the garbage that your mom saw you putting in a week earlier into the big garbage bag in that bin? Because Janie claimed that too, right? You guys have all claimed a timeline of, basically what? Janie 9:31, you guys 9:40, you don't even go over to Janie's place at all. Like, right. But so amidst all this stuff that, seems sketchy on both sides, why is Malehya, like Daniel just tells on himself. Okay. That's not rocket science. He just not only does he tell on himself, but he also tries to make us believe ridiculous things that any normal person with a brain would not believe in the first place. Like the helicopters I keep making fun of, because it was one of the top most ridiculous things I've heard come out of anybody's mouth, right? So you got Daniel distancing, Malehya, again, talking about the rag on the rail, but yet if they were conjoined together, then, mind you, Malehya did leave the next day. So it's kind of like, maybe she didn't know to lie there, right? Whereas Daniel's like, 2 + 2. Oh my God, better call the RCMP over here 2 days later. It just came to me that other piece is in the garbage, Again, it's like trying to sell ice to the Eskimos. It's just not happening. Remove. Oops, I'm going to come big again. Hi, guys. All right. I keep fucking up like that. Remove from, maybe I'll just make myself smaller so I don't have to keep doing that. Yeah, I'll do that. That should be okay. Update layout. Yeah. To me, absolutely. And honestly, I mean, obviously we're not certified in a sense to claim it, but it's one of those things to me. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, acts like a duck, ain't no freaking swan. So my personal opinion is that Daniel's delusional, but I'm always not sure just how delusional he is. Like, meaning where he knows he's lying. And then there's other things where you're like, dude, seriously, you expect us to believe that? That's so ridiculous. So it's a matter of how much of the lying does he know he's doing or doesn't know he's doing, or just, because narcissists, man, trust me, I knew a narcissist for a good few years. Holy fuck with you. Those people, you run away at any time you see someone that freaking gaslights you, deflects everything back on you, tries to control you. Freaking manipulators. So Daniel, for all I know, could be one of those more full-blown ones, because trust me, I talked to somebody online when I was gaming, one of the most fucked up people that I've ever come across, because I didn't even know that people had these type of personalities at that time. I just knew something was wrong with this person. And what they were doing was like acting like a 2-year-old pretty much. Anyways, okay, so up it's enough aware enough to call Jack. Well, it seems like Malehya was just up and up and up. And Daniel, well, he was just freaking out like a light the whole entire time, which we know is not true. Image file. So I'm just going to kind of pop through some of these screenshots and just kind of go through them. Okay. Oh, darn. If I take myself off screen, does that make it better? Malehya became. Oh, let me. 1 second. I guess I should bring it in the other way. So I was hoping it would be, but you can tell it's a little bit blurry, even for my eyes. 1 second. Okay, well, these are not in the same order that when I try to bring him in the other way, but I know which one I was trying to pull up. It's just yesterday, which it was being a little bit of a reject here. Probably need to reboot my computer again, I suppose. Let me see. Stop screen, start screen, share screen. Hopefully it's there. Nope. Freaking lag. It's probably because I need to reboot. Give it a second here. Yeah, I hate it when StreamYard is acting slow. Is it my computer or is it StreamYard or StreamYard? If not, I'll just go back to the other way. Okay, come on. Let's see. Are you there? Share screen. Window. Yeah, okay, there. Okay. So here, let me take myself off the screen. Okay. So I'm just showing you some screenshots, of things that to the case, to what Daniel has said and stuff like that. So Daniel said, Malehya became violent coming up to the disappearance. Right? Again, who's the bad person? Who's he projecting? Pointing the finger at Malehya. Now, remember the statement to Lindsay, right? I'll bring that one up soon. Malehya is trying to blame everything on me. Well, she's trying to blame everything on me so that she doesn't get in trouble, right? Again, we don't know the truth, exactly what happened to Jack and Lily, or what Malehya and Daniel were necessarily all doing on that Thursday into the Friday. So, but anyways, Malehya became violent coming up to the disappearance. She used to hit me all the time, but as a man, you don't speak out about this. She became aggravated easily by me and the kids. Malehya and her family and friends group all joined together to make my life hell with CPS2. I only get to see Meadow under supervised visits, and my ex-wife will not let me see my other kids because her lawyer advised her not to. Smart lawyer. Malehya's silence speaks for itself. I become desensitized to judgment and always speak openly. Right? And then up top, this is where Janie is saying, God, people need to stop accusing, or that with the accusations about Jack and Lily were alive Friday morning. No accident, no killing. I'm telling you, Malehya knows the answers. Again, right? I'm sure that's all coming from Daniel, too. Malehya knows the answers. That's why she's not speaking out. They're kids, for Christ's sakes, even though it's typoed. She should be telling the world what happens, not letting Daniel and I tell you people everything. When we do tell you the truth, well, Janie, you might be telling more of the truth, but your son's not really good at it. You think we are being called, or you think we like being called killers? God, we can only take so much of this. When the truth does come out, I hope you'll all be proud of yourselves for what you did to us. What we did? What the fuck did you guys do? You guys obviously didn't protect Jack and Lily on the property. So what do you mean what we did to you? Right? Hi, Ernestine. Yeah, Belinda, I think she's still here. For Christmas sakes. Darn it all, for Christmas sakes. It's Belinda here. I have a question, and you don't have to answer. Did MBM text you on the 29th? Definitely a Belinda question. It's been too long ago. Wait, you're talking about the 29th of, like, May 29th? Are you talking about this 29th? Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna, okay, let's see here. Remove, stop screen. Let me just go to the next one. I should create a folder here. So for every time that I do show one, I stick it in that folder so I don't get myself confused. 1, 2, 3, ABC folder. Screen. Shots. Okay. So let's see here. We'll throw that one in the folder now. I know I can throw this one in the folder now. And then let's see what this one has. Okay. What's this up for? What is that? I have no idea. Okay, that one we can get rid of. That's that. We can get rid of that for the moment. Get rid of that. That way I know I'm clicking on the right thing here. My brain's fried too. I got you. Share screen. Come on. Oh my goodness, it's painful when it's acting like this. Probably not going to do one. I'll probably just bring them in the regular, like the other way. Image file. No, not image file. Share screen. Let's go. See, like, what the fudge? Yeah. Freaking StreamYard, like, seriously. Click. Picture. This picture right here's StreamYard's. Okay, I'm going to do it one more time, and after that, forget it. I'll just do it the other way. Sorry if it's going to be smaller. That's irritating. This probably means I need to reboot as well. Share screen. Let's do it this time. Nope. Is it there? Is it there? Is it there? Okay, nope, cancel. Okay, whatever. Not gonna do it that way. We'll just do it the other way. Okay. The one I was gonna show was this one. I'll take this off, and then I'll just do it like that. I see you guys can't read that. So I'm going to have to read it. Pisses me off. Okay. So this one to the left says, and now this is in Missing Jack and Lily Uncensored discussion and updates at the time. Malehya stayed at her grandmother's for days after Easter, and at that time said Jack didn't like Daniel. There was no content to why Jack didn't like Daniel. That's all she said. Easter was April 20th this year, and the kids went missing May 2nd. That's just over a week before the children went missing. Their relationship was problematic. Daniel should not be the only one doing interviews. And then Kiki, who is Wade's daughter, says Jackie. She goes back and forth to her mother's. She gets a check from the res, and her mother buys her gifts. Her mother cooks and cleans up after her like she's still a child. That's because she is. So basically, she lives the same life as before, except there isn't any children involved. Okay. Now, we'll take that one off. Remove. I just wish I could show those ones the other way. But okay. Sorry. Screenshots are going to be the death of me. Come on. Click. Image file. Let's go. Let's do this. I don't got time. Now, I don't know what order these are in at all. So, we've had this one, so that can go into the folder. What does this next one say? Daniel, did Lily say anything? No, not the first time, but the second time, yes. But hold on. Weren't you sleeping, Daniel? I went over this times, as I said, in my head over and over, trying to find details or clues to help. Obviously, this is that one conversation that he's having with Susan from Hidden in the Fog. So Susan, she either said, "Hi, Dad," or "Hello, Dad." I remember before I thought she didn't say anything right. Yeah, you know what? I didn't remember that she said anything, but oh, guess what? Yeah, now I remember she did. Right. It's because you're trying to cover up the tracks. So, right, whenever you see something that's inconsistent, you try to gap fill. I thought she didn't. I thought she said she didn't say anything, but as time passes, that. So you know how Daniel says in certain things when he's been on lives, well, so much time has gone by. I just, it gets foggier, can't really remember. But in this particular statement, because he forgets, it says that it actually becomes clearer as time passes. Evidence builds. Leads are followed up on, and time continues to tick for the individuals involved. But the batteries in the watch only last so long. That's when you're trying to come up with a nice little saying there. Okay, what else we got? What else we got? Image file. Okay, got to pack. Like I said, these aren't in any particular order. Okay, it's just refreshing people, talking about between the two of them, like what the fuck type of thing. Daniel, let me ask you 2 questions. What was Lily doing the very last time you physically saw her, and when was that? And what was Jack doing the very last time you saw physically saw him, and when was that? As time goes on and I look back at those moments, I can almost freeze frame them because I'm laying in bed, I'm thinking that's supposed to mean, so many times playing them over and over like an endless loop. She seemed excited, Susan. No Barbie shirt on, I can say that. Remember, I already showed you posts that the kids didn't have on what you think that they had on. Okay, so that whole facade that you guys have all tried to lay out there, that Lily was in a Barbie shirt, is what, a lie, or is it a lie from Daniel? Because remember, he said he's playing with fire, but it's part of the investigation and he can't say it, but here, I'm just going to let you guys know that it wasn't a Barbie shirt. Why was she excited and what did she have on? Well, that's it. I mean, he avoids. Jack was sleeping a little after midnight on May 1st. I flicked on the lights and looked at both. I'm both asleep. Okay, so we already know that one. It's just, again, right? I mean, so now you're trying to say that she had a Barbie shirt on. Now it's like, just take that out of the whole equation because that was all a lie. Yeah. I was going to say no bickering in chat. Everyone's entitled to their opinions. So that one can go here. What does this one say? I got some good ones. I think 2 updates. Wait. Why wait a week to say they found nothing? They are giving 2 updates. One update as normal tip amounts. That stuff keeps less. See, like, oh my God, his talking sucks. Keeps less informed, up to date, and one for dogs, probably release amount of area covered, general areas. Thank you, Amy Henson, for helping out with the dogs. Surface level. Everything is approved. My lead investigator, like the docs, he blacks it out. Everything is approved by my lead investigator, like the docs. He blacks them out. You approve everything, or lead investigator? I'm sure if Daniel had his way, I'm sure he'd say that. I'm pretty sure he actually has said that he's the one that's like, open it all up. Everyone can see what a piece of shit I am. Pretty sure he actually did basically say that. Let's put that one in the whatever file. Okay, what's this one? Okay, like I said, these are in no particular order. So this is a point where Daniel's talking with Taylor and says, I'm not even going to say anything mean. Have a great day, beautiful. And then he says, I'm not going to do anything against you. I love the time we spent together. Okay, so they met May 26th. I love the time we spent together. It wasn't fake. I'm sorry I talked to someone, but wasn't trying to get with them. I can only hope you see that. I apologize for that. Have a good night, Taylor. It was real from me to you. I hope you find it in your heart to see that. The mistake I made was messaging her, but wasn't sexually in any way. Thank you for that clarification, Daniel. One sec. No, CPS is not RCMP. Great, that one can go in the file. What's this one? Babe, tomorrow if you fall asleep, I'm just gonna have my way with you. Sweet dreams, babe. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to CUM inside you tomorrow after the RAPING you. So I'll be writing you close off and forcing your legs apart by my hard COCK inside. If you scream of beg me to stop, I'm going to. And so then you kind of wonder, what about that court case coming up July 7th? I am innocent, Daniel. Clearly innocent. It's not just so romantic. So imagine that you're again in the midst of two missing children. You've started a relationship May 26, and well, we can't speak any less from Malehya either, right? She did the same thing. So, but that's what I mean. So take that how you want, but that seems like people that already knew that the children weren't coming back home. No, normal people don't decide to get into relationships when two children are missing like that. So again, are we so wrong to speculate that they know what happened? Like, it just reminds me a little bit of those cases where, the wife goes missing. The husband either doesn't search or searches for about a week and then gives up. That's what this kind of reminds me of, the same thing. Well, I mean, we got to put on the pretense for a bit. Well, you know what? Months a bit long now. Yeah, I think I could probably hop into a relationship by this time because we already know Jack and Lily aren't coming home. Meaning, again, it's like when you look at the whole spectrum of this whole case and what we're seeing added to these so-called parents, whether it's Daniel's other kids or Jack and Lily and Meadow, and that's the shit. This is the shit that we get to know about. It's crazy. It's not normal. I'll tell you that much. No one could ever deem this as being normal unless you're, part of something and you're lying, which you already know that you're both lying. So, all right, put that one in the folder. What does this one say? This one says, Daniel Martell, it is a fun surprise. Well, there's lots of surprises involved in the SUV. I'm excited to see. I will make SEX much better. Oh, now I'm even more excited. Lips. But it's already amazing. Can you please block my mom? She said she's watching all the videos and said mean things about you. She also said she was joining all the groups. I told her not to, but she's really getting on my nerves. Taylor. Block my mom. Remember, Taylor was married at the time, but not divorced. When I was talking to Taylor, they were working things out, but who knows? I'm not sure where she's at right now. What else we got? Okay. What does this one say? Something about SCX up top, miss audio call. Taylor, I'm going to say something. Taylor, I never did anything ever to hurt you. I'm trying to love you. I care about you. I'm being punished for trying to be a good boyfriend. Just think about that for a second. I wonder if Malehya feels like she was being punished for Daniel being a good boyfriend. I am being punished for trying to be a good boyfriend, manipulator, controller, abuser. I don't know. Those are just my thoughts. I really hope you get better someday. That's righteous. Okay. You don't do this to people that love you and have pure intentions. Have most purest intentions less than what 24 days before you involve yourself in a relationship. What about you, Malaya? How long was yours again? It's ridiculous. Anyways, I want to see you happy and smiling, but I can't. I just don't know how. I wish I could. Sweet dreams, Taylor. I do love. I never stopped. Fucking Harlequin romance right there, isn't it, though, people? Yep. Mm, mm. Well, it wouldn't be a shocker because isn't that what Malaya is claimed to have had? Hmm. 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 Thing is though. Hmm. Hmm. Where does the truth lie there, actually? Where does the truth lie there? Does it lie before the children went missing? And that cheating message? And I was wrong. It was on Facebook Messenger, apparently. And then because it's so soon after. Anyways, food for thought. I'm just trying to show you the best light of Daniel that I can. All right. Image file. If he gets upset about us even talking about this stuff, I just don't know how he could, to be honest. This is probably the better light, right? Seriously. All right. What's this one? What? Wait, and everybody else? What? No. I only talk to you and her. That's it. Yes, I said thanks for supporting to people. You think I want other women? Yes. Yes. As a matter of fact, yes. Yes. You do what you have to do with Taylor. I'll sit back and watch you destroy me. Oh, yeah. There's the midi. You do what you have to do, Taylor. I'll sit back and watch you destroy me. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I truly am. But I'm not going to take any more of this. Oh, that was a lie. It was a bold-faced lie, too. How many times did you try calling her and everything like that? Plenty. Remember those screenshots? Okay, hold on. Which screenshot was I on? I think it was this one. So that one has to go. Oh, it's this one. Oh, it's telling me I got to take some down. Hold on. I got too many up. Remove. 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 Sorry, guys. I'm just taking out the garbage. Remove. 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 Oh, wrong one. Let me get that one back. Oh, wait, no, I already read that one, didn't I? Let's see. Okay. I'll let you in. Remember this one? I'll let you in on something it meant to say I've done. I've done many drugs, but my brain can handle it. There's individuals out there that get destroyed, right, by drugs and lose their perspectives on life. Huh. Mm-hmm. That's fucking righteous. And he says, done, not don't. I completely understand that. I partied a lot when I was younger after I had my son, etc., etc. We don't need to read that part. I'm at a good place mentally for the most part, and I don't want to interfere with that for a night of fun. No, babe. No, babe. I did drugs every day for many years. Yeah. Even including the night that Jack and Lily disappeared. I know, right? But yet he lied about it for so long, saying that he didn't do it. Then he did it during this period. But, but it was like months before Jack and Lily disappeared and blah. And then his timeline just kept getting shorter and shorter, you know? And then it's like, okay, but you're halting like basically March, April, May, April. 30 days has September, April. So April 30th. Whoops, cancel. Image. What do we got? What do we got? Yeah, well, we also know what a stack of shit looks like, too. What's this one? Oh, right. We already seen this one. Claim your certificate, Mr. Certified Criminal Interrogation. Do I need to interrogate you? Well, we all know. I think it just is obvious, Mick obvious, why he did this, because he wants to know how RCMP and that think and all that stuff so he can learn, right? Why? Is that normal? Is that normal, right? Daniel's always trying to get ahead of the game, right? Always thinking that he's 2 steps ahead of us when really, again, the difference here is that even on a regular day, most people would already know that Daniel was full of BS, right? I'm sure most of the people that he knows, because most people don't like Daniel, like that know Daniel. Most people don't like them or they're scared of him. So that says a lot about his personality. I mean, even his uncles can't stand him. Well, maybe they can stand him a little bit more because they're his uncles, but they basically both have called him a piece of shit. I'm sure that must have hurt his ego when he heard his own 2 uncles say it. So what does that tell you right there? Daniel, I just don't understand how Taylor didn't see that you, of course, were trying to be the very best boyfriend. That's all you're trying to do in all of this. Just be a really great boyfriend. How can you not see that, anybody? Freaking delusional. Great. That was that one, I guess. What else? This one? You get, let's see here. Oh, you get to see me tomorrow. Then you get to lay beside me as much as you like as I feel you up and touch and kiss you. Vomit. Vomit. This case could be over soon. You guys remember this? Malehya just slipped up and told the lady that she knows where the kids are. Of course she does. Of course she slipped up. And of course you're going to play on that. Malehya's trying to blame everything on you so she doesn't get in trouble. That the lady, I just got off the phone with lead major crimes investigators and told them. Malehya fucked, this is part I like probably the best. Malehya fucked over my life, so I'll do whatever it takes to see her in prison. Yep, you'll do whatever it takes, Daniel. Of course you will. You're the only person since the disappearance that came to my life that I'm thankful for. Pretty sure you said that to fucking everyone you met, to be honest. I had to install my aunt's internet. That's why no messages earlier. And yes, I know how to do a little bit of probably technology. Hustler. So glad to be gay. Okay, hold on. I gotta take a couple of these off the screen. Remove from studio. Remove from studio. Okay. Image file. What else we got? Well, it's just, I think, wait, I read that one. So that goes here. That goes there as well. What's this one? Oh, wait, Daniel. Malehya, Daniel. While at this stage, we do not have reasonable grounds. See that? We do not have at this stage reasonable grounds to believe a crime has been committed. Not that they don't think a crime hasn't been committed, but at that point, they believe a crime has been committed. That assessment could change as we move forward with our investigation. Well, there's the truth compacted for you right there, though, in those words by RCMP. Yeah, you're right. At this stage of the game, they don't have enough to press charges on anyone at this point. They're waiting for it, but that could change. Keyword reasonable. Absolutely. Right? Daniel's walking around saying, you know, I'm innocent. I checked off a box, and, you know, everyone should know the moment I pass that was truthful on that, you know, piece and whatever. No, but you lied about stuff. You and Malehya both. 2 children are missing, and you're lying about drugs. You're lying about where the blanket was. You know, one says the railing. The other one says someone punched a hole into it. Again, that's just it, right? Investigators aren't stupid. What do we got? Shit, I'm getting hungry. But I'm not done yet. Make you suffer some more a little bit. Now, which one? Okay, I gotta put that one away. Let's just go to, I'm not sure what order this is in exactly. Oh, okay, no, I think I know that I have to, whoops, add to stage. Hold on. No, remove. Okay, hold on. Image file. I think I need to go here. If some of them overlap, it's because they do. This is with Taylor. I believe he is still angry. She left, and he's being vengeful and then regretful. Her neighbor texts him when she leaves her house. He knew she parked at McDonald's and went in another car. I told Angeline all this when he told me so she could tell Malehya. So basically, Daniel knew Malehya's moves. Crazy, right? Stalker. Daniel knew Malehya's moves because of this neighbor that lives right beside, across or something from Malehya in the Shubenacadie. And so she was basically giving Daniel the play-by-play of when Malehya was there, wasn't there, etc., etc. Malehya's neighbor, he didn't tell me who it was, unfortunately. He said he knows she leaves in the middle of the night and goes to her half-sisters. Yeah, I don't know how much of that was about the half-sister, which would be Haley. Well, Haley would be stepsister, but most people get that wrong anyway. So there's 1 second. All right, image file. What else we got? Okay, so I would have read that one. Again, he is obsessed with her, and that's why he wants Meadow. He said she only wants Meadow because she is a piece of him. Yeah. Wait, build yourself up. He says what he thinks, but as if something what she's doing. Nuts. Okay. As if nuts or something like that. I don't know. 100% agree. Jack and Lily deserve so much better than the people they had called parents. Okay. Shit. Hope my messages aren't that bad when I'm talking to people. What's this one? Hey, Daleen. I really hope neither of them get Meadow. She's doing so much better now. She runs around and talks. When she left them, she looked neglected. Just like I said, just do image file. So that goes there. Nope, that doesn't go there. That goes here. What's this one say? I don't need to read really about the top part because that's just about her. It's so hard to wrap my head around the part because there are 2 kids missing, not one. I have thought maybe Daniel hit Jack and he passed in his sleep. And that's why Lily kept going in the morning because she couldn't wake Jack. I also thought that they could have been playing at 12 when Daniel turned the light on and he snapped. Penny for our thoughts on that stuff. Remove. Removing some things. Image file. Let's see, what do we got? I did that one. That goes there. What's this one say? Oh, I think it was the Saturn, but I'm not entirely sure. And then she said, yes, he drove it to Adam. So basically, the car, when something about when Taylor was meeting up with Daniel in her vehicle, that Daniel was in this black car. Now, this would have been obviously like maybe late May, June. Can't remember. I'd have to go back and look at, like she didn't say, I don't think actually. It was local, and I get obsessive with true crime cases. Definitely not healthy, but it's because he was close. And this is where she says this. Because he was close, and I thought I could get him to talk or show me places he knows off grid. Okay. Oh, there you go, right there. Yeah, he drove it to Adams in June. And that's okay. So that's the part I was missing from that one. 100% playing him from day one, but I did get close. Well, we obviously know how close, right? Obviously, for that. Very close. Very, very close. Okay, what do we got? That one there. Come on. No, I'm clicking on you. You over there. What does this one say? I don't know what to think about the car between 12 to 5. And that's when we talked about this the other day. He did tell me about a place that he wanted to meet me, and that there is a path that leads to the Bay of Fundy. That is about an hour from his house. And then I don't know that this one matters at the end. And that's when this was the last one of these screenshots anyway. Sorry, last one's a bit much. Yeah, he loves me because I'm a lost girl, but I follow his guidance and agreeable. That's when she's, like I said, Taylor's whole thing was that her personality was matched Daniel's, and she felt like she could, according to her, okay, that she could get close to him because of how similar her own personality was, and basically saying hers was very fucked up as well. On there, 1 second. Just trying to see what this. I just gotta take a look at this one last screenshot here. Oh, I know which one it is. Forget it. Okay. Okay. Share screen. Nope, not share screen. Share image. Image file. So this really is just going back to that Malehya had left him and had gone to stay with her mother. This is to the Globe and Mail. She's going to try to blame everything on me, but she doesn't get in trouble, he said. What would there be to blame? I asked. At that stage, search and rescue teams were still scouring the woods for Lily and Jack, and many appeared to have hope that the children would be found alive. Daniel's answer was, I don't know, to the what would there be to blame, he said. Then Lindsay says, what he said struck me. It continued to perplex me and Greg. We go, it's no from the decibel. And I sought answers over the following weeks, gathering information from the neighbors, friends, families, elected officials, police, with what they had learned. Nope. Coming up to 14 months. Coming up. And then the last picture I'll show was this one here. So this, okay. 1 second. I'll come this way. So this is a Kia Rio. Okay. Now it's just a guesstimate on the year when Brad and I had spoken about this, multiple months ago now. Yes, it's very heartbreaking, unfortunately. Now, oddly enough, dang, so many people have cars because that looks similar to Logan's car as well. So anyways, Brad has said, nope, I'm sure it's a Kia Rio. All we can do is go by what, of course, Brad is saying, right? Because I always kind of keep testing him, like, are you sure it was a Kia Rio? And he's like, I'm 100% sure, so because like Logan has a similar car and, like about the Subaru and stuff like that. And so that's why I keep going, are you sure it was a Kia Rio? Right. But anyways, so my whole point still, like, going back about this live is that you have, Daniel, who obviously, is shady, as we all know, right? I mean, there's so many things, but the thing is that Daniel keeps distancing himself. But yet Malehya, this is where, like I said, it does my head in. But yet Malehya is telling us that blanket belonged to Lily. She's telling us that piece of the blanket was over the rail. She's telling us that Daniel does drugs and controls her and makes her delete stuff. So you would think that if two people are involved in something, right? First of all, typically when people are involved in something, they stay together to make sure that there's stories. If both people are involved, that's usually the typical thing. One does not usually leave a property, if the one person, say, had involvement and the other one didn't, right? So it does my brain in, because I got all those things in my head from family, from Wade, that are saying that Malehya doesn't act. So why would Malehya leave if you're like, I'm just questioning this stuff, right? Why would Malehya leave if her and Daniel are part of a cover up? That doesn't make sense, because they would stick together, right? They would make sure that they said the same things, but that's not what happened. And then she leaves, and then whoever she's talking to, right? Like RCMP, major crimes, whatever, whatever other people. But the one thing that was always said, again, by family, was that Malehya's story hasn't really changed from basically that interview. But yet, by the same token, it kind of has, because she's literally sitting there saying that Daniel, held her up against a wall, held her down, that he apologized for, that Daniel picks on Jack, no, yeah, Jack, and sometimes Lily, that Daniel basically got her to delete most of the people that she knows. So that's why it doesn't make sense, right? So even though that regardless, two people are lying, well, we're excluding Janie from this, just Daniel and Malehya. So because we know that, but yet these oddities about this, like these things that Malehya has said, if you have involvement, why are each of them poking the bear? Or is it that one's poking the bear, meaning, let's just say Daniel, right? Well, perhaps Malehya is, and don't get me wrong about the situation that she's in, and stuff like that. There's zero fucks given about her emotions and all that crap, right? It's about Jack and Lily. But it does, those things bug me so much when I'm trying to figure out, okay, Malehya involvement, if so, at what level? Daniel distancing himself, lying about the blanket, and then talking about a water bottle that you wouldn't even have known about, right? Because remember, you never saw the blanket. So you're basically saying that somebody went into the trailer. Not only did someone go into your garbage, but that they also went into the trailer, and that they took out a couple of sweaters and a water bottle. Does it stink like fucking trout? Right? Stinks like trout. Get the fuck out. Right? So it's kind of like you have one person that's definitely distancing himself, making everybody feel like that he's the only person looking, that he's almost dying for these kids, that he's doing everything, that nobody else is doing everything, and again, Daniel is delusional if he thinks that people don't see right through that crap. But it's Malehya, some of Malehya's stuff that she's doing that really makes me pause, because that's all the information we know, right? Unless you're physically sitting down with her and she's, opening up and telling you more details and stuff like that. Don't know for who those people are or whatever. But, there's just those things about why is Malehya given things if they're both involved. It doesn't make sense. But yet the truth is in there. Yeah, I remember that, Belinda, but is that the one where Janie and Daniel were talking about, and this is kind of when they were referencing Brad Wong? Because remember, they made the reference to a person breaking into the trailer and that they really didn't take anything. But she was talking about her trailer, though, in that particular case. because this is on the day that Jack and Lily go missing, that suddenly Malehya's family, but he didn't say it that way, but that's what it was, because Daniel's already let us know that it's Malehya's family basically went, grabbed 5 pieces or whatever of different articles and went and planted them. But Daniel said that he never saw the blanket, didn't even know where it was located, but somehow he knew about the water bottle and everything near the tree, that was planted by Malehya, because he was smart. Don't forget, you guys, 2 + 2. He was smart. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Remember when MBM wrote in lipstick? Well, that could not be verified, root strength. So I had asked about that. That was something that I believe originally Tint had told me. I asked Haley about that, if she knew anything about, not to say that it wasn't true, because remember, when Malehya left the property, it was because of Meadow at that point. It wasn't because of Daniel. This is just what I've heard by, close as it gets type of thing. Who's messaging me? 1 second. I am so freaking tired, people. I thought I had all this energy, and then at one point it just hits me. To the person that sent me the message, oh, my spaghetti was great. It was so good. Thank you. To the person that sent me this message, was that in an article? Jesus. So I'll read you what it says. Later, he discovered Brooks Murray, and this easily could have been in an article. Okay, yes, it was in an article. So later, he discovered Brooks Murray had left him a parting message. That will be great for that. Okay. So later, he discovered. See, this is shit. Like I would have, I heard about this, but I don't recall it being in an article. I might have at the time, but there's just so much over the course of time that you just forget so much. But anyway, so later he discovered Brooks Murray had left him a parting message in their bathroom. She wrote on the mirror, "I'll always love you forever." She wrote it in lipstick or marker or something else. When Martell tried to call her and text her, he found Brooks Murray had blocked his number. They haven't spoken since that day. I call bullshit on that one, to be honest with you. I mean, he sent her money, right? And according to Anita, she was all happy as shit, right? Ooh, Daniel sent me $40. 40 bucks. There's some things that I do believe Anita on. But okay, so I didn't realize. Oh, that one. Okay, that's the one. I have to go through that one in a bit. That's one like where they got Belinda. When Belinda's holding the pictures of the kids. I'll have to come back to that one. It's just for me. Huh. It says you're in a paywall free zone. So it's like I'm just really waiting for the answers for Jack and Lily to come from the RCMP. But during this time, I'm trying to make sense out of the like I know it's going to be hard to try to get that answer, right? Because so much lies and like meaning from Daniel and Malehya, because we already know that they're both lying. So they basically have literally perjured to me themselves pretty much, because you're saying this about the drugs and Daniel being awake all night, but in the documents you've told the RCMP that Daniel was sleeping throughout the entire night. So you've already fucked yourself over for credibility, right? Shanann says that, well, what if she was groggy? You know, what if Daniel manipulated her? Now, for me, I don't think that was as simple as someone going, well, maybe. I think that the whole thing, it wouldn't shock me if there was some sort of conversation about that for her. It's the way when somebody says something, it didn't come off like as if we're just talking about it now. And I said, well, maybe Daniel manipulated her. I mean, some of us had said that, but because we know that Shanann talks about how much she talks to Malehya, it was just, when something is out of place when they say something, that's what that reminded me of. And it's just like, no. I'm probably pretty sure it's not this hypothetical thing. Could be, but chances are it doesn't come across that way. So I just think that, again, for me, it's just trying to find things or share with you guys things to try to make sense of it. With all the missing pieces and the pieces you have, it's hard. But there's actions that Malehya, like I said, has done that don't make sense, because it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense for two people to be in cahoots of a crime and to be, fuckbirds or whatever there. And then all of a sudden one flies the coop. And yet you're trying to keep a story straight together. So I think that the message to Lindsay is an important one. That it was Daniel in a raw moment where he was too busy focusing on Malehya leaving him and not so much the children, she had said. Why? That she's trying to blame everything on me so she doesn't get in trouble. So either Daniel's full of shit, or that sentence completely comes across that both of them know. But why? Why would you leave the property? Why would you not protect? Like, we're not talking, just two children, run away for a couple hours and then they found them. We're talking about when two children are missing, right? And we don't know the answer, but yet the abduction theory seems to get thrown out the window pretty much. I mean, they themselves have thrown most of that shit out the window about the woods and the abduction and walking off or being scared off and stuff like that. The blanket tells you that this is a criminal case that has not been deemed as one. That blanket tells you that. So to me, it's like, I'll just say 99.99999%, right? But who's trying to distance himself from the blanket is Daniel. But then Daniel twists it and says that he was trying to protect Malehya. But he'll come out and say, no, that's a different blanket now. No. That's not what you said. No take backs. What about the water bottle and the two sweaters? where the blanket was. How would you have known about that? Considering you said you didn't even know where the tree was or that you weren't shown a picture. So that's my thing. So if I had to choose, if something happened to Jack and Lily and who was the person that actually did it, something to Jack and Lily, I would definitely, in my eyes, look at Daniel just because of those words. She's trying to blame everything on me so she doesn't get in trouble. But it equates to both of them, that comment. Like, who would say that? Like, and then Daniel kind of didn't answer that one really good. But when two children are missing, and this is only a couple days later, right? This isn't like this is 20 days later. This is like on the 4th or 5th or whatever that Lindsay, the Globe and Mail, is having an interview with him, right? He's still astounded, right, that any female would leave his loving, caring ass. Daniel, come on now. Let's get real. Fight you for a bucket of KFC over it. But who would say that at all? Just like Malehya, when she says, I just hope that they're warm. Nobody says, well, she's trying to blame me for everything so she doesn't get in trouble. That there's nothing, like, besides making up a web of bullshit around that. I mean, to me, that is what it is. It means what it means. He said what he said. Yeah, there was the hot pink one in the window. Yeah, but that was, yeah. So I had asked him about that one, right? But that had nothing to do with, anything, to be honest with you. Besides, it was up and then it was down, then it was back up at some point. But that pink one, so the pink blanket, LOL, was hung over the door. But that one in the window didn't have anything. Well, so I just, like I said, when I'm sitting here thinking about the distancing of Daniel, but yet Malehya's telling it does. You see what I mean? It doesn't make sense. So either they're fucking just stupider than shit, right? Because their words are blowing each other out of their own waters. Now, they're not playing the smart game. I'm telling you that. It's just a bunch of BS game going on. But there's things that just don't make sense. Well, that's just it. Make it make sense, because it doesn't make sense. Because there's things that lead you to believe that Malehya might not have. But how do you omit a vehicle of the children that night? Like, how do you omit the fact that the children, I'm sure Daniel Malehya didn't walk them down the freaking street. You think about the drones, you think about all that stuff. So it's just, I think it was a look of disgust. I'm pretty sure it was disgust. Was it fear? Maybe. Yes. Yeah, I have that one. Yeah, I mean, there's other stuff that I have, but I want to go through it first, because when I looked up at the time, I was like, really? It's already 3:00, and I'd already been sitting there saving shit from my iPad, or sending shit from my iPad to my messenger, then downloading it, and I had to go through it all, and then I was going back and forth because I couldn't find a couple things that I was looking for. But then I finally did. Next thing I know, it was like 3:14 at the time. Okay, guys, I'm just, honestly, I'm tired. I'm very tired, and my head's itchy, and I need to go nap and eat. Olive Hall, thank you for gifting 5 people memberships in here today. Root Strength for 12 months with It's a Crime and Shame. Sing Birdie Sing, member for 5 months. Thank you guys for being here for this live today. Appreciate that. Put Jack and Lily back up on stage there. And I can't express this, enough about myself. Daniel Malehya, like I said, from your lips to God's ears, whatever happened to Jack and Lily. But, Janie, Daniel Malehya, you guys did this to yourselves regardless, right? There's no pity from my end. It's hard for me in a sense to say that, but if there's one thing that I don't excuse is first of all, I don't excuse murders, right? But I'm not going to sit there because the children disappeared, regardless how you want to look at it, underneath their care, right? Malehya and Daniel mostly, even though Janie lives on the property, but still, she wasn't, in charge of them. But either way, I don't give 2 flying fucks about any crisis, any sort of fucking medical freaking bipolarism, fucking borderline BHD or PhD or some sort of depression. I just, it's hard for me to say that, but there's things that I don't accept and I don't have no qualms. And one is when you're lying, when you're out and out bullshit of Malehya's actions to 2 missing children, Daniel's constant manipulation and trying to, act like he's being genuine and honest and stuff like that. It just doesn't sell and it doesn't work for me. And so it takes a lot for me to have that type of feeling, but I don't care. I just care about Jack and Lily and that these 2 beautiful sweethearts deserve the answers, just like any other case where children or adults deserve the answers. The pain that's being inflicted on the people that literally have no clue what happened to Jack and Lily. And yet there is a clue. There are people that know. They know exactly. So then it's the game of cat and mouse. The RCMP waiting, because, again, no signs of anything, right? So why do you have lying? Why would Daniel, remember right at the start, he lied about that blanket, but he's made excuses. He's made excuses for why there's laundry there at Patty's house. Everything is about deflection to him. Malehya, she's just off hiding and seeking because she doesn't want to deal with it. Because I do believe that Malehya knows that she would be sunk into the ground if she actually spoke. Because Malehya is not the type of person that could handle that. I mean, again, perhaps if you have prison time coming your way, that helps you freaking keep your lips zipped and shit like that. No. Anyways, those 2 can kiss my butt when it comes to Jack and Lily and all that. But anyways, okay, guys, I'm tired. I've venting it enough. Thank you guys for being here today. I don't know. It's my husband's birthday tomorrow. Probably will not see you guys tomorrow on there for sure. Probably see if he wants to go out for dinner or something. But anyways, thank you guys. Told you they were autistic. I remember that. I know, right? In the documents there. Well, again, all we can really do is just talk about things, try to make sense of the situation as best that we can with about the biggest manure pile that we have, because the timeline, besides what's in the documents, the timeline is just their words, which mean zip, zero, zilch, nothing, because they've already both been proven to be liars. Okay, guys. Captain, YouTube, close one parent, getting away with more money, I meant. Okay, yeah, really tired. Have a good night, you guys. Belinda. Oh yeah, I'll let him know. Happy birthday. He's just gonna be like, yeah, as if they care. I'll say, no, they don't really actually. No. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Make sure we get that in one more last time. Yep, love to y'all. Jack and Lily. Simple as that. Oh, just keep praying, guys. Just keep praying and praying and pray. Ooh, mind you, I did have a dream last night, and I distinctly remember, and it could be nothing, just saying, because maybe it was because I was talking about it in Taylor's things, but all I know is that in this dream, with Jack and Lily and Malehya and Daniel in there, and I remember going through these files, and all I could remember, got bills to pay. Thank you, Sherry.
Extra Pure Super Chat, 13 Canadian dollars and 99 cents your option.
Cheryl.
Thank you. Oh, Daniel. Where's Jack and Lily Sullivan?
Oh, Daniel. Come on, Daniel. Let's play Truth or Dare or Double Dare. Come on. Come up here, Daniel. Come on now. Let's go. Cheryl, you already do so much. Honestly, thank you so much. You're just too much, actually. Oh, you just want me to show your stickers and that again? Cheryl had sent the stickers for Jack and Lily and these amazing pens. I got a stash. Charmaine's going to get hers when I see Charmaine. I got 2 weeks left before vacation time. And there. Those. Still my favorite. The gradient one. Way. Very. Still got these that I bought at the Dollar Tree. A little unicorn on a pink pen and a dinosaur on a blue pen. It looks purple in the light or whatever like that. But anyways, right. Thank you, Cheryl. So anyways, I was having this dream, right? And I was sifting through, I don't know, these elongated files. And all that stood out was the word waterfall. As I'm looking through all the different, it's almost like having different scenarios on each folder in a sense, like each kind of place. And all I remember was clear as day was the word waterfall, and again, it just could simply be because I was talking about the Bay of Fundy waterfall or whatever recently, but it was just as vivid as day though, that word. And then I woke up and I was like, for fuck's sake, you stupid vagina, stop having to go pee all the time. It's pretty much what I said. Sick of it. Yeah, last night I had, like I said, this dream. So about that, right? And I woke up just as clear as day as I saw the word waterfall. And anyway, so I woke up and I had to go pee. And I was mad because I wanted to stay in the dream, right? But it's like I saw the word waterfall. Next thing I know, I'm awake. Yeah. So, something like it's kind of one of the things. If you believe Malay and Daniel or Daniel, whoever, did something to Jack and Lily, if they did, would they have been taken somewhere in a spot that they would know, but would be hidden type of thing? So it's just one of those things. Is like, you think to yourself, like, if they did do something, like, how ruthless could they be? Yeah. Hi, Leanne. Yeah, you're gonna have to catch up. Sunny's ending her live. So love you guys. Jack and Lily. Poor little Jack and Lily. Just hate staring at two kids. Just makes you want to reach through the freaking computer and go, punch some people out. Well, I mean, go to the bathroom or your bed would be a waterfall. No, I got enough for those waterfalls. I know. I got enough for those waterfalls normally. You know how hard it is to maneuver myself, get out of bed, maneuver myself, freaking fans in the way over there just to get to the bathroom door. Those waterfalls do happen magically. You're welcome. TMI. I don't care. Just saying. All right, guys. Justice for Jack and Lily. Night, Rhonda. Night, you guys. Okay, I'm just going to end the stream, okay? Have a good one.